Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Powered by Coldwell Banker Ford McMurray. We love YMM. Tuesday.
In the latest, it's not worth it, my guy. A UK man headed to a local McDonald's drive-thru. Got himself, ordered anyway, a couple of sausage and egg McMuffins for his son and his son's friend, so the story goes. They ask him to drive forward to one of those, hey, give us a minute parking stalls, where they're either part or all of your order is being, made, but they want more room in the drive-thru, so go over here. We'll bring it to you in just a couple minutes. But he refused, citing that he had a previous wait of 15 minutes for food in one of those stalls at the same location. Okay, all right. I think somebody's coming here with a point to prove in the first place. But they ask him to wait. He says no, to avoid that horrible 15-minute wait for food, which admittedly, if you're hungry, that might be a long time. I get it. But to avoid that wait, he parked in the drive-thru, blocking everybody for 2 straight hours. Protesting. As you do. There's a bunch of details with the altercation. It doesn't matter. The best part is that when he was finally fed up and left, he did not have his 2 sausage and egg McMuffins. Instead, he went directly home and ordered apparently a couple of Big Macs on Uber Eats or some other delivery service. Like, what? Come on. Really sticking to your guns on that one. But, also, my friend, there is a way to order your food and just get it handed to you before you leave without any expectation of you leaving before your food arrives. You just park the car and go in, right? Right? Everything is coming out on Friday. It seems like May 27th. I don't know what it is about that date. The start of summer, perhaps? I don't know. But the Bob's Burgers movie, for instance. Many people asking, why is there a Bob's Burgers movie? Another question you could ask is, why not? Whatever. It's a funny show. We'll find out if it turns out to be a funny movie as well, if it translates. Also, of course, Top Gun Maverick is arriving in theaters officially, though I think you can watch it for the first time as of tomorrow night. And with it, with Maverick, comes a movie tie-in DLC for Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course. Of course. I have no idea what's inside of that, but I imagine some fast flying and some jets that you might not have had access to previously. I don't know. There's also a mighty video game throwback with the Pac-Man Museum release, and we've got part of the Stranger Things Season 4 arriving. Part 1 is going to be arriving in just a couple days, which has already apparently been partially spoiled by Monopoly, of all things. Very strange. Toilers, they call it. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 upside-down dollars. Not cool.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruise FM.
For many, the long weekend was either a chance to get out into nature, perhaps for the first time since it got warm, and do some camping or some cabining, or it was a weekend set with obsessing over the playoffs, right? But then there are those who try to combine both. And if you were successful in doing so, congratulations to you. It's not that easy, right? That is a difficult task to accomplish. It can be, at least. Odds are against you. The phone signal sucks. The Bluetooth speaker battery dies too quickly. I thought I charged it. There's a bear cracking into your cooler. Your friends are now locked in a mortal struggle with an apex predator over some cheese-stuffed Smokies and a six-pack. Brutal. But wait, did the other team score? It's still buffering. I can't tell. Meanwhile, the bear is flossing its teeth with the Slim Jims you brought but didn't say anything about, because Tim always eats half the box when he knows about them. It's a nightmare. If you manage to pull it off, again, round of applause. Well done. Mark Hoppus showing up at Travis Barker's wedding over the weekend. Looked like it was a lovely wedding, if you don't count what the bride and groom were dressed as. Some weird, weak, satanic panic stuff going on. But wedding to Kourtney Kardashian. Mark Hoppus, however, really showing a lovely photo of him and his wife, not showing the rest of the wedding party whatsoever, and commenting that a year ago he was in chemotherapy fighting in a battle against cancer, and now he's able to attend one of his best friends and collaborators' weddings. Beautiful, beautiful. And of course, full head of hair on him as well, which is a sign that, he's no longer in the chemotherapy session injections and, fully in remission. Hopefully that stays the course. Absolutely. Meanwhile, we got a first taste at a psychedelic documentary about David Bowie called Moon Age Daydream. The teaser trailer was released yesterday in conjunction with the premiere at Cannes Film Festival in France. Of course, it does not premiere in regular theaters until September. No exact date to be confirmed. However, you'll be able to get a taste of some old, new David Bowie when the return of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and The Spiders from Mars gets its 50th anniversary re-release in June. That's going to be on June 17th with a special edition record from 1972 coming on back again.
Wednesday.
It takes 219 hours only to become best friends with someone, according to a study that was done a few years ago. Grain of salt needed, grain of salt always needed. But the New York Times just did a story on this study, and one thing people are just jumping onto is this number, which is 219 hours. Okay, well, first of all, 94 hours to become casual friends with someone. That's a lot of hours to become casual friends with somebody. I've been at parties for like 2 hours and have made even better than casual friends. But I digress. 164 hours for true friendship and about 219 hours to consider one another best friends. And how many friends should you have in life? The recommendation, about 3 to 6. Anywhere in that range is great. And after that, you're slicing the pizza too many times. That's too many slices. You do want like a big, meaty, cheesy, chewy piece for each of your friends, right? And then you're going to have a couple of little slices here and there, but you don't want to cut too many times, or else those slices, they lose that structural integrity. It becomes less delicious, right? Well, I'm really stuck on this pizza analogy here. But they do say that at least having one good friend in life is super important. Less than that can run into problems with depression, anxiety, and all those other things that, we are feeling those anyways. It is 2022 after all. But, if you don't have any friends, hey, I'll be your friend. We can go get some pizza or something. Let's dive into the music news headlines. One about Steven Tyler. In a post made from the official Aerosmith social media channels, they say thank you for understanding and for your support for Steven at this time. He has been working on his sobriety for many years, but after a foot surgery preparing for the stage and the pain management necessary, he relapsed recently and voluntarily entered a treatment program to concentrate on his health and recovery. They say, we are truly sorry to inform our fans and friends that we must cancel our first set of Las Vegas residency dates this June and July while he focuses on his well-being. If you were planning a big trip down to Sin City in the summer months, specifically to see Aerosmith, time to reposition those plans just a little bit. But we do, of course, wish Steven Tyler and the entire team and all of the families very well. Recently, in the news, there was a guitar used by Kurt Cobain, specifically a screen-used guitar from the Smells Like Teen Spirit music video that was estimated at something like $800,000 for the auction. But in actuality, the end of the day, it made £3.5 million at auction.
Hey Alexa, play the Steve Reeve podcast.
I discovered this morning in my travels an abandoned Calgary Flames shirt outside, crumpled into the corner of the concrete, disregarded, discarded, and perhaps disenfranchised. What's the story here? I want to know, and I know I never will, but was it a lost bet perhaps? Literally the shirt off of someone's back. Or was there a fight? Oh man, were there fists thrown? Did the shirt come off like a jersey in the gloves of an angry forward in a fight at center ice, huh? Or was it pure shame that inspired this Flames fan to shed their fiery colors? And in any case, did they ever find another shirt? Will they be right back to it tomorrow after today's hangover nursing? These are the questions that must be answered and perhaps never will be, other than the individual who previously owned that shirt and may be coming back to retrieve it. And if so, I've got some questions for them. A milestone for me. I'm very excited. 12 weeks now complete with this 12-week program, Fitness and Nutrition from Cut and Conquer Fitness. And the reason for it, the ultimate overarching reason, is because I got to get myself in shape for the Fort McMurray Firefighters Charities Association annual calendar, the firefighters calendar here in Fort McMurray. It's coming back again. There was a year hiatus there, yes, but it is coming back, and it does help out 5 different communities, organizations in the community that are local. The money stays right here. Details about the actual release of the calendar coming later on. It's going to be in the fall, and we will give you details as soon as we know them, but if you've been following along, you already know. If not, I am on the hook to be on one of those pages, and I gotta look like I kind of fit the part, right? I gotta kind of look like I actually match up with some of those extremely fit firefighters, men and women. I'm so excited, but also the other side of the coin is pure and abject terror and anxiety. And that's because I really do want to show up for it. And that's why I've been taking it seriously for the last 12 weeks. So a celebration is in order. A little pat on my own back. What's going to happen as far as you is you get to see the preview. Maybe not for all of the firefighters. So sorry, we couldn't hook that up. But at least for the photos that are taken of myself, we'll take a look at them and choose a few to share with you that hopefully will inspire people to actually want to buy the calendars. That's the goal. I am, as of yet, to be convinced that is actually going to happen, but I need to see the photos, and the photos haven't happened yet. But thanks again to everybody who has been so supportive through it. Huge thanks to the Fort McMurray Firefighters Charities Association and the firefighters that I have been able to meet so far through this. Just got a chance to do one last workout with the firefighters yesterday with Brianna, a video heading to our social media as well. So ultimately, stay tuned for those photo previews in July, and stay tuned for the actual calendar release in the fall.
Thursday.
Seth Green, comedian, voice actor, Chris from Family Guy, almost every voice you hear on Robot Chicken. Like, this guy's done a ton, and he's been working on an NFT show, which has now been canceled. Yeah. So Seth Green's NFT show got canceled because the NFT design that it was based on got stolen. One of these Bored Ape Yacht Club things, JPEG you can screenshot on the internet. Because Seth Green clicked on a phishing link somewhere on the internet, it's all gone. Now dozens and dozens of less famous people are out of the job because they started it in good faith and even got to the point of filming a pilot, I think, and they at least enough to shoot a trailer and release one, although it never actually made it into public. It was screened at an NFT conference and therefore has kind of made it onto the internet. But this is all because Seth Green wanted to make a show exploiting the artificially inflated interest in NFTs. Not a great plan. Not a great plan. Never could have seen anything like this coming. Honestly, this is just so stupid. Not just stupid in the sense that a mistake was made, or several, maybe, but just such a stupid story. And yet still probably a more interesting plot for the show than whatever was being developed. But if none of this makes an ounce of sense to you, don't even worry about it. Honestly, you're so much better off. Trendy pub ideas that I want no part of. Ditching the plumbing and having patrons destroy a drop toilet and then sprinkle some sawdust on top afterwards. Now, I mean, this isn't technically a trend that's catching on, but it is what is happening at a trendy bar in the UK. Thankfully, nowhere near here. And a trendy bar that doesn't have the most trendy of names. Frank's Cafe. At the top level of a car park in London, offering beautiful, spectacular views of the capital city, but not so much in the bathrooms. That's less of a good view because you're looking down into a giant hole of everybody else's business. And not that I mind a drop toilet, not that I mind an outhouse, whatever. I just don't really love the idea of an outhouse inside, indoors. First, I can't even imagine the mess on the seat at the end of the night or the potential for splinters on the butt from that sawdust, all those wood chips, let alone what's below the mess on the seat at the end of the night. And that's also a smell that I would love to associate with delicious food and a drink with friends, right? A dusty wooden crap house. The smell of a stable, but like on steroids.
Thanks for listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruise FM.
Alanis Morissette, the very latest to be named as an inductee into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. And she's actually going to be joining the 2020 honorees, Jim Vallance and Bryan Adams. There's going to be this in-person gala in September. First one since 2017 that they've been able to do actually in person. So it should be a big thing. Late September, she's even going to be performing. And the reason being because she's just amazing. And in a statement from the chairman, some albums define a generation, but few albums can transform a generation as Jagged Little Pill did. And also transformation of style from Alanis Morissette, who previously and originally was a dance music star. I love that fact. It makes me so happy. Meanwhile, making me happy is this rendition of My Hero from the Foo Fighters from Rockin' 1000. If you weren't aware of this group, it is literally a group of 1,000 musicians, primarily out of Italy and surrounding countries, who do covers of rock songs. And they actually got started doing a Foo Fighters song, Learn to Fly, with a viral performance in 2015, encouraging the Foo Fighters to visit the Italian town of Cesena. So they've got some history with the Foo Fighters, and this is what 1,000 musicians playing My Hero sounds like. The performance, of course, a tribute to Taylor Hawkins, who died at the age of 50 in March. New study. Science has been put to work to determine what the best way to make a burger is, and specifically finding out that pickles, scientifically proven to make burgers taste better. Something about the acidic content and breaking through the strong flavor of the burger. There's a lot that goes into it. Far more than was ever necessary, though, because, I mean, Duh is the answer. Of course pickles make a burger taste better. And of course everybody's got their different tastes, which makes it completely subjective and not even all that important to discuss. But really, it's like you're just getting to the start of the science on this one, because really you need to not just consider what contents are on the burger, but how they interact with each other, and even which ones are touching which ones to construct the ultimate burger. And everybody, again, has their individual taste, so everybody might have a different construction. You need to layer it exactly how it needs to get layered. Certain things should be touching other things. Cheese in the burger, for instance, absolutely should be married together. Other things, you got to separate them with a wall of tomato or a lettuce layer, right? And maybe this study was just funded by the marketing team promoting the Bob's Burgers movies, because if so, well done. And now I'm hungry.
Friday.
One of the ways to survive right out of the gate when things finally turn warm and you get the snow blanket long gone is to enjoy the patio. Just being able to get back on the patio again is such a powerful thing. I've got the best news. The goodest news for the goodest boys and girls out there. Restaurants in Alberta officially no longer need to get their approval from Alberta Health Services to allow dogs on their patios. Now, of course, service dogs notwithstanding, that's a bit of a different story, but prior to this decision, this change, you would have had to have gotten permission. The restaurant itself would have needed permission and a case-by-case kind of basis for their outdoor eating areas. No longer. They do believe that patios can be done, food safe, right? And make sure that everything is done in a manner that everybody's happy with. I would love this. I don't even have a dog right now. Can't have one at the place that I live. But I would totally covet the dogs that were on the patio with me. I would be saying hi to every single one of them. Every single one. Now, a disclaimer. Must let you know that not every patio is dog friendly immediately with this decision. You gotta check with the restaurant first. Battle of Alberta over, or is it? Or is it? Might be decided on the ice, but between the Flames and Oilers fans, there's still some beef, some Alberta beef. We got a contentious win. A lot of people either thrilled by or totally upset by, or even if they're thrilled with the result, they're still upset by the call of the kick. The definitive kicking motion, distinct kicking motion that apparently sent a puck into the goal, and then that goal was disallowed. A goal from the Flames that would have put them in the lead to about 5-4. In the end, it was an OT winning goal that actually got the win of not just the game, but really the series. 4-1 now in that round, and the Oilers now moving on into the Western Conference Finals, which will be kicking off in June. No exact schedule on that just yet. But take that, Gretzky, isn't it? Isn't that right? I mean, if you didn't know, he had put out his prediction of how the bracket was going to play out. He had the Flames winning in this round and then losing to the Blues, and looking like it was going to be, jump into the Hurricanes for the actual win of Lord Stanley's by the end of the playoffs. We will see. They, of course, are doing very, very well. It was locked in that they were going to be, it's Tampa Bay I'm thinking of. They locked it in with a shutout series on Monday. However, the Hurricanes are one win away with Game 6 versus the Rangers tomorrow. Tonight is Avalanche needing one more win against the Blues to wrap up that series. Conference Finals beginning soon thereafter.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruise FM.
David Bowie's crazy documentary film called Moon Age Daydream, which is going to be just as psychedelic as you think it is also getting attention now because of comments from the director, Brett Morgan, who says that he actually died for 3 minutes while making the documentary. Now, it was early on, and he does admit that he says his life was out of control when he began work on the film, and it was actually getting in connection with David Bowie that helped him to check his ego and get back to being who he wanted to be. He said he helped transition him from childhood, and then again in his adult life transitioned him from being a man-child to being a proper father. He says in his own words, "To me, that was his greatest gift. I had no idea going into this, how he would impact my life." Makes me all the more curious for this documentary, which is going to be coming out for the entire world in September while it's doing its appearance at Cannes Film Festival right now. And sad news to end off with our music news headlines. You might have heard yesterday, Andy Fletcher, the keyboardist for Depeche Mode, died at the age of 60 and had been in the band since 1980 from the very start. A very unassuming individual. He will be dearly missed by band members and family members and fans alike. I'm feeling largely terror, some anxiety as well, learning about the Sharkano. No, this isn't another B-movie sci-fi thing, like Sharknado, or Sharktopus, or Sharkosaurus is another great one, which is done by an independent Alberta company, actually. But no, this is the Sharkano, an actual volcano in the Pacific Ocean that has been known for, about 7 years now, I guess. 2015 oceanic study is when scientists first became familiar, and they were fascinated because there's lots of creatures, fish and sharks, that had been living in the hot, acidic, sulfury waters that were surrounding the volcano. It has erupted. There's new NASA satellite images that have captured this underwater explosion of what's actually called the Cavachi volcano, which we're now forevermore going to call Sharkano, and I can't wait for the movie to come out. But the fact of the matter is that this underwater volcano is home to mutant sharks that have now been displaced. I mean, if they survived it, of course. And if they did survive it, all the more terrifying. Pacific Ocean, way down south, nowhere near here. But I'm still going to be worried about dipping my toe in the ocean on like Vancouver Island, you know what I mean? Get those mutated sharks away from me. Sounds like something Dr. Evil would spend a lot of money to get a hold of.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruise FM.